Hey, my name is David Ford, and I want to welcome you back to the Makerspace in Fairfield. Today we're going to be tackling a new project. This is for a friend of mine. His name's Matt. Matt is an over-the-road driver. He's a day driver, and he just got himself a brand new Volvo day cab truck, semi-truck that he drives from here to wherever it is he goes to make daily runs. But there's a big gap between the driver's seat and the passenger seat. So Matt reached out to us and he asked us to build him a box where he can store things like his lunch, he can put his water bottles, he can put maps, he can put pens and pencils and things like that. So that's the project we're tackling today. I've done the math on everything. We met up with him a couple weeks ago and we measured everything out for the cab of the truck. And we're going to be making a 3-piece modular system for Matt so that he can put it in and take it out of the truck. Just in case he moves from one truck to another, he'll always have his belongings with him and he'll be able to work. So we've measured everything out, we've planned it out. We should be able to get it all out of this one sheet of plywood. It's AC plywood, which means it's sanded on one side, rough on the other. It's 3/4 inch and it's 4 foot by 8 foot. So we're going to start marking out some lines and some measurements, and then we'll get it cut and we'll start assembly. All right, we're getting ready. We're dressed and we're ready to start working in the shop. And when I say we're dressed, we have to point out that we're always safety conscious. That is the number one thing that we have to worry about in a shop with moving parts where you can lose fingers and arms and hands and whatever. So I've got my leather smock on. It's going to protect me from any kind of flying debris. Hopefully there won't be any of that. I've got my face shield that I'm going to be using whenever I'm cutting something. And I've also got a good decent pair of work gloves that are leather. These are like those mechanics gloves. They're not mechanics. But if mechanics wants to send me some of their gloves, I'll be happy to use them. But I lose no dexterity at all, and this is going to protect my hands from splinters and such. Plus, the fact that it's a little bit abraded, the leather is, I'm going to be able to maintain better grip on the pieces that I'm working with. Also got my tape measure and my chalk line. So we're going to start measuring things out. We're going to mark it with the chalk. We're going to get a skill saw and we're going to start cutting our pieces on the skill saw. And the reason we're doing that, using a skill saw, honestly, is because this 4 foot by 8 foot sheet of plywood is a little bit difficult for me to maneuver on my table saw that's underneath here. Also today, my daughter, Abigail Ford, is going to be assisting us with this project, who is in a carpentry class or a wood shop right now being taught by Mr. Sean Peck at the Fairfield High School in Fairfield, Iowa. And part of her requirement, since they're on a hybrid or they're
virtual,
on basically a virtual learning
online.
Right now, it's hard to have. She's making faces behind the camera and shaking, so knock it off. So it's hard for her to build a virtual anything or learn anything in a wood shop, so I decided for the next couple weeks I'm bringing her in here and she's going to help us out with this project. Well, this particular project's only going to take a few days. Hopefully it will only take a few days, fingers crossed. But we've got some other projects that we're going to be working on that she's going to help. Next week, or Saturday actually, we're going to build a router sled. And we're going to use a router sled because in my shop I've got a 12-inch planer, thickness planer, and I've got something that's about 24 to 26 inches that needs planed down. So we're going to build a router sled for that. All right, well, we've got everything cut on the table saw, so everything's squared up and it's cut down to the right size for our first box. We're going to use the Kreg jig to make pocket holes and secure everything together. We'll also glue it up, we'll put on the bottom, we'll put on the top, and then we'll make a cubby hole to be able to reach in and out of. Okay, it's a Kreg jig.
Kreg jig.
So you use the
jigs, and we use that to put the sides together, and then we put it on the top part where we put the lid on.
The Kreg jig made what?
Holes.
Pocket holes. Right. And then we got that screwed together, which you can see. So it's a very good joint. Everything's nice and even, and we're going to put the top on now. This is just like B-roll film. All right, so we've got about 2 hours worth of work into this. Everything's cut. As you can see, the box is completely glued up, assembled. We've screwed it. We've countersunk it. It's been glued up, like I said. And then we just got done putting in some brad nails to make sure everything, that glue dries evenly across our joints. Made a nice little hatch. If you come in here a little bit closer, you can see that. It's a real simple little hatch. Just comes right up. It's nice and smooth. You can pull that out. You got plenty of storage space underneath. What we'll do on Saturday is we will go ahead and prep this for sanding and finish work. We'll take the router, we'll put a half round on all these corners to kind of soften it up. We'll put some felt pads on the bottom, kind of elevate it just a little bit, plus this way it doesn't rub into the carpet or anything like that, the cab of the truck. What we will do then also is we will be making 2 bookcases type things. Not really a bookcase, but there'll be a little shelf over here that'll attach, and then there'll be a shelf over here so that you can put pens in, papers in, you can put a notepad, you can put your cell phone,
Coffee.
you can put all kinds of stuff, right? So you'll have plenty of space to put stuff down on, you can put plenty of space to put stuff in. We'll throw a couple of, I don't even know what they call them, like a magazine holder or something on the side so that you can put in a map book or 2. You know, if you got a book you need to put in or something like that, or a clipboard or something. So anyway, we got more work to do, but we're calling it quits for tonight. We'll see y'all on Saturday.